Hey, what's up guys? So basically we've got a new video here. Some more samples have arrived in the mail that I bought. This video is going to be about niche fragrances. We'll call it niche or nah. We'll figure out how good are these niche fragrances actually. And inside this box we've got quite a few different samples. Not all of them are niche. I'll save some for another video. That'll be designers and niche. I'll put the designer fragrances separate and the niche in this video. So this is basically going to be more of a first impressions because I haven't actually smelt all of these yet. I wanted to actually give you my first impression, and usually I don't do first impressions because my opinion will change the more I smell something, and I want to be able to give you the most accurate opinion on something by giving it time to kind of see if I like it or hate it, because my opinion will usually change from my first impressions. But in this case, we're just going to go straight in with a first impression. I haven't smelt a lot of these. I think I've smelt two only. The only two that I've smelt were Percival by Parfum and Oud Satin Mood by Mason Francis Kirkjun. We'll start off with those. So you may as well just start off with the ones I've already tried out of this whole pack, which would be Percival. Parfums de Marly, Percival. Oops. When I sprayed this, I couldn't actually smell anything, so that makes me think I'm actually very anosmic to Percival. Whatever ingredients they use in here is not very strong, or the performance is bad, or I'm just anosmic to whatever is actually in this fragrance. However, I've got my laptop here and I did actually write down some notes, but I'll try not to look at the notes exactly just right now. I'll give you my impressions just smelling it. What I can smell is, it's like Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce with Mont Blanc Legend. There is a citrus opening, and then you get this kind of soapy floral smell with a little bit of musk in the base and some cedar wood or some kind of wood. I'm pretty sure it's cedar wood. To me it smells like cedar. However, I did research ISO E Super, and apparently ISO E Super does have that cedar wood smell. So it could either be cedar or ISO E Super. But to me, maybe even a little bit of something synthetic there, like ambroxan, but not much. To me, it's mainly citrus and a soapy floral. Yeah, like the florals are like almost like lavender or some kind of white floral note here, jasmine maybe. But yeah, the closest I would say is like Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce or Mont Blanc Legend, and it does kind of have that same smell. And I do like it. The performance is just, like I said, not that great, or maybe this is just a bad batch, or I might be anosmic to it, so I can't rule out those. I won't really comment too much on the performance since I could just be anosmic to this. The best I can say is just basically, the best I can say is it just smells like Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce, Mont Blanc Legend, and yeah, it's got that soapy, fresh, kind of almost powdery as well kind of smell to it. And I'm pretty sure that is from florals with the citrus and that slightly synthetic ambroxan kind of smell. Really nice fragrance, and I actually do love that DNA. I think that Mont Blanc Legend and Fierce DNA is a proven compliment getter, so this will definitely be a compliment getter for you and a very, very safe fragrance to wear. But I would say it's kind of redundant to pay the price for Percival when there's cheaper alternatives that smell the same with better performance. Niche or nah is the question. I would say nah, just because it's too expensive and there's better alternatives for cheaper. Okay, next is Mason Francis Kirkjun. I can't pronounce his last name. Someone needs to tell me how to pronounce this guy's last name. Is it Kirkjian or is it Kurdjian? Do you say curd, like lemon curd, or is it Kirk? And is it Gian, or is it like Dijon? Like Dijon mustard, or Gian? Someone tell me how to pronounce his last name. But anyway, MFK Oud Satin Mood. And to me, this smells like Intense Cafe by Montal. You get vanilla, you get rose, and to me it's a vanilla and rose fragrance rather than an oud fragrance, because you won't really smell oud in here, but you will smell vanilla and rose, and I'm not a fan of rose, so I'm going to be very, very biased with this when I say this. It's not for me. I don't really like it, but if you like rose fragrances, maybe you want to check it out. Performance is really, really good on this. It's a very strong fragrance. It does smell like it has good quality, right? A little bit more fresh than Intense Cafe because there's no coffee in here. Yeah, usually with oud fragrances, you get that medicinal oud kind of smell, which you don't get in here. So if you don't like oud, then don't worry because you're not really gonna smell too much of that in here. But yeah, it smells like old ladies and grandmas, a little bit like pot puree, and that's just what rose fragrances do for me. As much as I do like vanilla, I would just say the rose kind of overpowers the vanilla here, and I don't like it when rose is the main note in a fragrance. It's just not for me. It's a little bit too feminine. This is more of a girl's fragrance. Even though it does say unisex, to me it's feminine. I wouldn't say it's good for a guy to wear either. It's not overly synthetic. It's very smooth. It's a very smooth fragrance. It's not too sharp on the nose or anything. I also wrote down it's very overrated because it's true. This is hyped up so much on the internet. When something's that hyped, you just expect something much better than what you actually smell here. It's not for me really. Not much else I can say, but I guess if a girl wore it, it is kind of sexier on a girl to wear. And so the question is niche or nah? Nah. I would say no or nah because it's just too strong with the rose for me, too floral. I'd have to give that a pass, okay? So next up we got a fragrance that I haven't actually tried yet, and it's Royal Oud by Creed. So this was apparently one of Creed's best fragrances, Royal Oud. I do like Aventus, and Creed is a very hyped up kind of niche house, okay? So I thought I'll try one of their most hyped fragrances, Royal Oud, and especially because I don't really like oud in general, maybe this is the fragrance that's going to get me into liking oud. So let's try it. Completely first impressions, I haven't smelled this, and I will spray it on skin. What I might have to do is, because I'm spraying it on skin right now, may have to actually just pause the video, wash my hands or whatever, so I can wash it off and then keep testing more fragrances, because I've only really got limited space on my skin that I can test all these, right? So, ooh, immediately, this oud that I'm getting with Royal Oud, very, very woody, which I like. I like wood because very dry, earthy, manly, and it's more of a warmer kind of smell without being fresh or too sweet. When you want something for the colder weather that's not too sweet or too fresh, you go with a wood fragrance because wood in general is just going to give you that like nice cozy kind of smell, right? To me, this does have a freshness to it. There's like some kind of citrus up the top with some kind of wood in there. To me, it's not really oud I'm smelling. I'm not smelling the oud, I'm smelling the wood. And what kind of wood? I'm not gonna pretend that I'm that good at recognizing different types of wood. I only really know a few kinds of wood smells like sandalwood and like cedar and stuff. To me, this leans more cedar-ish. But yeah, I'm gonna say wood. It doesn't have that medicinal oud smell. Maybe after testing it a few times, I might actually smell it, but I'm not gonna lie, I like this. For an oud, it's a very woody, manly, fresh, earthy kind of smell. So it does have that colder weather vibe to it without being too sweet or too fresh. It is, I'm gonna say it's very safe to wear actually. Honestly, I was expecting this to be way worse than it is, but I'm pleasantly surprised with this. So let's actually look up the notes and see what we can smell in here, because so far I'm only really getting some kind of citrus with wood and actually maybe floral. I think I can smell something floral in here. I think there may be something floral in here, but if it is, it would be like white floral, something that's not really too strong. Like, it's definitely not a rose kind of floral. Yeah, it's very hard to explain the smell of this. I'm just getting mainly wood, citrus, and then there's something else in here. I can't really figure it out. That might be floral. So let's check it out. So it does actually have citrus and there's cedar in here. There's actually cedar and sandalwood in there. So that might be why it's very woody, because sandalwood does actually have a very woody smell. Like yeah, this is good. There's no florals in here, I don't think, but it could be Angelica or Galbanum or whatever that is. But wow, Royal Oud, Nishane niche. Definitely good fragrance here, okay? Worth checking it out. I would say check out Royal Oud. I like it. It's a yes from me. And I'm not actually sure, but this next one is by Acqua di Parma, and I have no idea what is a niche brand or a designer brand, but I'm pretty sure Acqua di Parma is niche. Fico di Amalfi by Acqua di Parma, and let's see what we got here, okay? Need to spray it because it hasn't been sprayed yet. On skin is generally where I smell the most amount of notes. Ooh, I can smell something in the air already. It almost smells fruity. I'm getting something fruity in the air that I can smell. Okay. To me, Fico di Amalfi, what I'm getting already in the air, something fruity and lemony in the air, but then there's a slight toilet spray smell to this. It's like a toilet spray, but a fruity toilet spray. Yeah, this is strange because I don't know what fig actually smells like in a fragrance, but I know there's definitely something fruity, lemony, or citrus, something very floral as well. I don't know if it's floral or wood. Hang on, floral. I can smell something floral in here too, so I can't pick out exactly what it is, but I do get fig. I know there is fig in here because it's called Fico di Amalfi, so it's definitely a fig fragrance. I like that fig smell. Honestly, some people apparently don't like the fig. I do like it. It's a little bit too cheap smelling for me. It doesn't have that niche quality. To me, it smells a little bit cheap. So let's see if there is any florals in here that I could actually pick out. There is. There's definitely a lot of citrus in here apparently, and wood. So I could smell the wood and the florals and the citrus. Apparently there's 4 different types of citrus, which is why it's so citrusy. The toilet spray smell I'm getting must be the grapefruit in here, and the fig and jasmine kind of create this fruity floral smell as well. So you get this fruity fig, floral jasmine with a very cheap toilet spray smelling citrus. So I think the citrus actually ruins this a little bit. Yeah, it definitely not my cup of tea. And I would say niche or nah. Would I wear this? That's the question. I don't hate it though. Honestly, I think it smells nice, but I just wouldn't wear it. So for me, it's a nah. Like, I know that sounds bad. It's a nah, not a niche. Maybe pass on this one, but definitely if you're interested in trying something fig, you want to know what fig smells like. Fig definitely stands out in here. That little bit fruity fig smell. But I'm trying to look for better quality fragrances these days, something that doesn't have that toilet spray kind of smell to it. To me, this is just toilet spray, so nah. And actually, I just want to note that coming back to the dry down of Royal Oud, right? I can smell a little bit of that oud now in Royal Oud now that it's dried down, so just want to note that as well. So the dry down of Royal Oud, you do start to smell the oud, but it's a very nice, pleasant smell. So next up, we have another Parfum Stimali, and it's Greenley by Parfum Stimali. Greenley by Parfum Stimali. And I guess now would also be a good time to actually say these fragrances are from ozfragrances.com. It's an Australian website where I get all my fragrances from. It's not sponsored. I want to thank Oz Fragrances for always amazing samples I get here, always come in good condition, shipping's always fast, and they always give me some free samples in the box. So I couldn't be happier, honestly, and big thanks to ozfragrances.com. So, Greenley, let's see what Greenley smells like, because it's a very hyped up fragrance and I've heard good things about it. To me, I'll spray it on the wrists and I'll try not to get any of the Royal Oud in there. Maybe like a little bit higher up on the wrist here, just so there's no cross-contamination with smell. Okay. I might have to do another spray here, just so I get the full experience a little bit more on the skin. Because to me, it smells very basic on that very opening. The opening is already extremely basic. So I wonder why it's called Greenley, because to me, it almost smells a little bit blue. It almost smells like a blue fragrance, not a green fragrance. To me, I do actually get citrus and wood from the opening straight away. It's your very basic and typical citrus wood combination. And I think there may be something green in there, like a herb, some kind of herb in here, or a leaf, some kind of leaf or herb. I'm trying to figure out, it might be, ooh, actually. So this is quite difficult to pinpoint exactly what it is. Sometimes when it starts to dry down, you can pinpoint things a little bit easier. Once the aldehydes and alcohol kind of dry out and you're left with the oils, because the alcohol dries, it takes a few minutes to dry, and then you're left with the oils, and then you can smell the oils a bit more. I can see now why it's called Greenley, because there is definitely something green in here, like a herb or a leaf, and that wood. And wood is actually a green note as well, because it comes from a tree. It's a nice smell. It's a very nice, safe fragrance to wear, honestly. And it doesn't actually smell too much like toilet spray, because sometimes when you get a citrus fragrance, it does come across like toilet spray. Not here. This is okay. It is synthetic. I'm still gonna say it is a very synthetic citrus, but it's not too much on the toilet spray side. It's not natural citrus though, so if you're expecting like a more natural citrus, it ain't this. But I also did figure out that wood, sometimes wood has a very sharp synthetic smell to it as well, like cedar for example. A fresh cedar does give it like a very sharp, stingy, kind of woody smell that when combined with citrus can make it smell synthetic. It says there is cedar, citrus, violets, okay, and petitgrain. I could definitely smell petitgrain. That's definitely the leaf or that something green, and I was trying to figure it out. It's petitgrain and cedar. But apparently there's apple in here. I could not smell apple. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I can't smell apple. No, I don't smell apple. But it does smell like there's like ambroxan in here. And it doesn't say ambroxan on there, but there's something very synthetic in here that's like an ambroxan type smell. It's nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice, but again, it's not something I would wear. So for me, is it niche or nah? I'm gonna say nah, just because I'm not a fan of citrus fragrances. To me, this is still a bit too citrusy and too synthetic. That's basically why I'm gonna say nah here. But I do like the wood. I'm gonna admit the wood in here does come across quite nice. Maybe not as nice as the Royal Oud. The Royal Oud's definitely a better wood smell. I don't hate it, so I guess that's a good thing. It's not offensive to me at all. But it's just, I know these niche companies are very highly regarded and expensive, so I just expect better quality coming from these niche companies, right? So the last Parfums de Marly fragrance. The last Parfums de Marly fragrance is Pegasus Exclusif. So it's the exclusive Pegasus. And I shall spray this on the other wrist. Now, I had a feeling I was gonna actually like Pegasus a lot because it's a very sweet, well, it sounds sweet according to the notes online. So we'll find out, because I am a sweet kind of fragrance guy. Immediately, this is my jam right here. I like this. I like it. I really like it. Something weird. I can smell oud in here though. I think I can smell oud in Pegasus. Like, I don't know why. I definitely smell vanilla. I definitely smell something woody like oud. Maybe vanilla and oud. Oh, it's something earthy actually. It's like something earthy, which generally is cocoa or chocolate. Sometimes I get this earthy, bitter, earthy smell, and it's usually dark chocolate or cacao, like by Kilian Black Phantom. It has this earthy kind of dark, bitter smell to it, and that is cacao. So I'm not sure if cacao is in Pegasus, but I'm gonna guess. I'm just gonna take a guess and say vanilla, cacao. I don't know if oud's in here, but I'm definitely smelling some oud as well, or wood. To me, it is very vanilla, earthy, woody, slightly bitter, but very just mainly sweet fragrance. So let's check out the notes on Fragrantica. Oh, this is very interesting. There is, okay, wow. There's oud and vanilla and wood. Okay. There's no cacao in here, surprisingly, so I was wrong about the cacao. But there is almond, there's florals in here, which is weird. I think I can pick up on a little bit of florals. Heliotrope, I think I can definitely smell the heliotrope in here. Okay, and we're back. So just before my camera cut out, I was actually saying Pegasus Exclusif does have some florals in there. There is oud and stuff in there, but to me, I do smell a little bit of florals in there, like heliotrope. And heliotrope does have a little bit of a vanilla smell, which blends itself with the other vanilla kind of notes and sweeter notes in this fragrance. But to me, it's a very oud vanilla kind of fragrance, right? A bitter vanilla and oud fragrance. So there's a bitterness to it. It's not just sweet. I do like it though. I like Pegasus Exclusif. I wouldn't really say it's good to wear around women. It doesn't strike me as like a compliment getter or something girls are gonna love, but it's something I do enjoy. I would wear for my own enjoyment. Probably wouldn't buy this as a vanilla scent because there's just so many better vanillas out there. So niche or nah, I would say I like it, but I wouldn't buy it. So that's a nah for me. And you know I'm a big fan of vanilla and sweet fragrances. Just to me, it's just not worth its price or the hype that it gets online. And the only thing is, it's definitely the oud and that bitterness which is ruining this fragrance a little bit for me. It's not that mass appealing kind of vanilla that would appeal to most people, or really myself. I do like it. I don't hate it. And hello lovely people, I'm back again. Camera is charged, not fully but a little bit more than it was. So basically there was a fragrance in here that I forgot to mention that I have actually tried. I tested it, so it's not going to be exactly a first impression, but I did write it down. It's called Hacivat or Hacivat by Nishane. So it's a Nishane fragrance. Nishane Hacivat or Hacivat. So this, as you would already know, is a Creed Aventus kind of fragrance. I'm not going to say cologne because there is a few differences that distinguish the difference here. What it does have in common with Aventus is it's got a pineapple opening, a dry woody smell. There is that dry wood. Some things it does different than Aventus, right? So it has got the pineapple, citrus, and the dry wood like Aventus does. If you imagine Aventus and then you take out the leather, take out that smokiness, take out the ambroxan, you kind of be left with like this. This takes out all those things that make Aventus kind of sexy, and this is a little bit more safer and less subjective. I'm just going to basically get straight into it. Pineapple opening and citrus with a creamy floral smell to it, but then there is wood in here, that dry wood. So unlike Aventus, there's no leather, there's no ambroxan, and you don't get the smokiness, right? That's just already gonna establish that. But what I like about this is the creaminess. There's something creamy in here that's so good. The pineapple, I'm a big sucker for pineapple, and that creamy smell in here, it just makes it quite smooth actually. So what I did write down on my notes were like, it takes out the smokiness, the earthiness, the leatheriness, the dirty leather that Aventus has. It hasn't got that dirty smell to it, or the smoky smell. If you don't like the dirty smell in Aventus and clones, then you'll like this. I believe this does actually have jasmine in here. The jasmine, makes this a little bit softer, so you get the softness from the jasmine. The more you smell this, the more it kind of grows on you a little bit. You know, it's just something that at first whiff you'd be like, oh, another Aventus clone. The more you smell it, it's like, wait, no, this is not just an Aventus clone. It's a little bit different. There's that creamy element to it that makes this something sexy. I do think it's still sexy, but not in the same way that Aventus is sexy. Because what makes Aventus sexy is like that ambroxan, dirty leather, and that smokiness, which it just doesn't have. I like this. I actually do like this. I think it's more recommendable, more wearable, and maybe a little bit safer, but it's definitely no Aventus. So I don't think it's better than Aventus, but I think it is very, very nice, and I do actually enjoy it. Maybe I would even wear this over Aventus in certain occasions where you want something a little creamier and a little less loud and less harsh. Like Aventus is quite a loud fragrance, and this is just a little softer, and sometimes you want something a little softer. So this is good, but this is unisex apparently, and I disagree with that. To me, it's still very masculine, and it's not a unisex fragrance at all. In my opinion, to either a lady, I wouldn't recommend wearing this. But on a guy, hell yeah, I would like it, for sure. Performance, incredible. 12 plus hours, it was stayed on my skin all night. Literally, I woke up this morning and I still had it on my wrist and I go, what? I can smell it. Not much I can say besides I really like it. Niche or nah? I would say niche, because it's a very nice fragrance and you will enjoy it. I enjoy it. The price, if price wasn't an issue, I would buy it. That's just the truth. I would wear it and I would buy it. But obviously, price is an issue still, so I'm not going to go out my way and buy it just because I can't afford it. You know, that's life. You can't afford everything. I'm going to just have to stick with little samples like this because it's cheaper than buying a whole bottle. Ran out of skin on my arms to actually test these, and I have test strips, and I don't like using test strips, especially for something like this one. It's also Nishane. It's called Ani or Ani by Nishane. I've heard this is a sweet fragrance. You know what? I'm gonna save the test strips for the fresh fragrances, and I'll try and spray this like Acqua somewhere, just because I don't want to test a sweet fragrance on paper, because you can't really test sweet fragrances on paper. They just smell completely different and you don't get the whole experience. Whereas a fresh fragrance will often smell a little better on paper and you can get away with it on paper. Yeah, and that was a great decision actually, because this is actually very sweet. Quite pleasant actually. I like already the opening of this is quite nice. Ooh. So there's something floral, citrus, and woody. I definitely get florals in the opening. I can smell oud in here. I don't know why. Wow. I'm not sure if that's oud I'm smelling or like a strong sandalwood or something in here. I think there's something sweet. I can smell something sweet. Whether it might be, I think it's most likely a vanilla or something along the lines of vanilla, like maybe a tonka or a benzoin or a coumarin. They kind of also have that vanilla-y smell, but I'm getting something definitely sweet in here that's making this, to me, it just smells like vanilla to me. Floral, vanilla, slightly woody, almost like an oud kind of wood, an oud or a sandalwood. That's my first impressions. I don't know if that's right. I'm gonna just check this on Fragrantica and see what the notes are, because I could be completely wrong, but that's what I get. There's a little freshness as well in the opening. Like citrus. Okay, so there was definitely some citrus in the opening. There was vanilla and benzoin, and there was actually sandalwood. So it's not oud, it is a sandalwood. So I was wrong about the oud, but I was right. It was sandalwood in here. And okay, I can smell ginger. Now I look at the notes. There is ginger in the opening, and I can smell that. I don't smell rose or blackcurrant or pepper, but you definitely do get the cedar and the sandalwood, the vanilla, the benzoin, and the bergamot opening, right? It is the rose actually, that's what making it floral. Because you know how I said there was something floral in here? It's rose. But to me, it does not smell like rose on my arm. Well, I usually hate rose and I can pick up rose like that normally, but that doesn't smell like rose to me. It's a different kind of floral smell, not the rose kind of floral. Incredible. I love this. I would wear this any day. I think it's safe. It's exactly what I like. There's a freshness, there's a sweetness. It's got depth, layers. It's not basic. It's got character, good quality. It's pretty much a solid fragrance here that anyone's gonna like. So niche or nah, you bet it's a niche. Definitely buy this one or try it, wear it. I just mean, it was that oud opening that I wasn't quite sure about, but now it's drying down a little bit and there's no oud in there. I think the opening is a little harsh, but then the dry down's phenomenal. It's really smooth and pleasant, and you know what? I actually do like it. For a rose in the fragrance, I can't believe I actually enjoy it. Rating out of 10, 9 out of 10. Honestly, it's a 9 for me. And I'm back once again. So, only got a few more left to test. These will be on test strips. There is some sweet ones in here. So, these may not be 100% accurate because the test strip can usually affect the notes that you smell. Let's get straight into it. Next is Xerjoff Uden. Is it? Yeah, Uden. I've heard a lot of good things about Uden, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pick up the notes on here. Okay. On paper, what I can smell already is like a citrus, almost like a soapy kind of citrus, not toilet spray citrus, a soapy kind of citrus. So the citrus is very nice quality, and maybe something a little creamy. See, this is why I need to test skin, because it smells too basic on the test strip. Okay, so maybe like a creamy and soapy citrus with, I'm gonna say the creaminess is vanilla, because creaminess usually only comes from vanilla or tonka, like one of those tonka vanilla kind of vanilla-y scents. You know what, I'm gonna spray it on skin anyway, because I did wash my hands, but I couldn't completely get the other fragrances off my skin, so at least you know the other fragrances do have great performance, because I couldn't even wash them off, but it's kind of faint, so I'm pretty sure it shouldn't contaminate the smell here. I think it should be fine. So let's see what we got. Yeah, quite nice citrus. It's very citrus and basic. I mean, it's about as basic as you can get, but it is just a little creamy. Citrus scent that's a little creamy, and you know what, it reminds me of Allure Home Sport. I think this is like maybe a little less creamy than Allure Home Sport, or maybe about the exact same like as Allure Home Sport. So that's basically what I can say. It's just citrus, vanilla, or tonka. It pretty much smells like Allure Home Sport, or like, you know, along those lines are like Mazzoni Wave, Versace Pour Home, those citrus vanilla scents. But I can actually smell a little bit of wood in here, because I couldn't pick it up on test strip. For some reason it smells soapier on test strip, and sometimes that is floral. Sometimes you can pick up a little, the florals give it that soapy smell, and then sometimes it's just cedar. The cedar can smell a little soapy depending on if it's good quality or not, or bad quality. Yeah, I'm gonna say there's wood in there too, but not much wood if anything. Okay, so let's check the notes quickly just so I can give you a better description of what it is. But I will say I like it, definitely like it, but if this is one of those expensive niche fragrances, then it's not worth the price at all. Let's see, citrus, wood, and that's quite a surprise. Okay, so there's rum and coffee in here. I can tell you right now, I don't smell rum or coffee, but I can smell the wood. So it was sandalwood. It's a very light sandalwood though. The soapiness that I'm getting, it has to be from grapefruit or something. Even though there is rose in here, so who knows, it could have just been the rose or the grapefruit, because it's obviously not cedar. There's no cedar in here, according to the note breakdown. But yeah, I'll just say citrus, vanilla, wood. Pretty basic. It's about as basic as you can get. Is it niche or nah? It definitely smells good. This is definitely going to be one of those mass appealing, safe, compliment getter fragrances that girls will definitely like, because the DNA's already been proven with Allure Home Sport, Versace Pour Home, Mazzoni Wave. It's been done a million times though. That kind of DNA is a bit overdone now. So I'm gonna say nah. I'm gonna say don't waste your money with a niche fragrance like Uden, because why would you want to pay more money for something that basically smells like a cheaper version of this? And honestly, Allure Home Sport is better because it's creamier and there's more vanilla in it. Okay, so next is Nio by Xerjoff. So it's the next one. Nio by Xerjoff. I'm pretty sure this is another citrus scent, so let's grab a new test strip. From what I've heard, it is just basically a citrus scent, and we'll find out how good is it actually. Okay, well, it is a little bit different kind of citrus. So it's not the citrus that I usually smell in a fragrance. This is quite sweet, like a sweet citrus. And by sweet, I mean more like mandarin, not lemon. Like the mandarin is a little sweeter than the lemon kind of smell. Or like an orange or something, like an orange or a lime. Yeah, and it's some kind of sweeter citrus here, but then there's something really nice in here. Something in here I like that's giving it like an even sweeter smell. Maybe floral, something weird. It's like almost like lemon and lime. If you've tried a lemon and lime flavored drink or something, it's giving me that lemon and lime flavored smell, but sweeter. Like it's sweetened with something. Let's have a look at the notes. Okay, it was jasmine. There's jasmine in here. There is bergamot, and neroli. Wow, if that's neroli, that's done really well. Usually neroli can be a little bit, it is sweet. Like neroli is like a honey, it's a honey type of citrus smell. So some people call it like honeyed citrus because it's got that nectar, that sweet nectar from the flower, the neroli flower. It was jasmine, so there was a floral element in here, which is jasmine, and I'm assuming that's nutmeg as well, which is weird because nutmeg can either smell citrusy or it can smell like cola. So nutmeg can go either way. It can either smell like Coca-Cola or it can smell like citrus. And in this case, it smells more like citrus, but a sweeter, spicy, almost like not too spicy, but a spicier citrus. And cardamom. Cardamom also has like a citrusy, sour, tangy kind of smell. So I'm assuming that's what it is. It's all these citrus ingredients combined together that give it that citrusy smell. Like nutmeg, cardamom, neroli, bergamot. When you combine all these different citrus smelling things, it creates like a citrusy smell that's a little bit different than your typical lemon. But it's a little soapy, which I'm assuming is the jasmine here. I'm not getting vetiver. This says there's vetiver and pepper. I don't get that, and I don't really smell cedar in here, but I mean, maybe slightly woody, if anything, not too woody. It's really nice. For citrus scent, I see why people like it. It's a nice citrus. It's just basic. It's another basic one that doesn't really do anything that amazing. I mean, it's basically citrus and that's what you get. So I'm gonna say no, don't buy this because it's too boring and basic. But if you're looking for something with pretty good quality that smells nice, it's got good quality and it smells nice. So there you go. It's almost lemonade actually, like a lemonade you'd have on a hot day. It's quite refreshing. So if you want something refreshing on a hot day, great hot leather scent actually. Maybe a 7 out of 10 if I had to rate it. Yeah, nothing special, but definitely not bad. It's a safe, mass appealing scent, but just still a boring, basic citrus scent. Pretty much a disappointment from Xerjoff. I'm extremely disappointed. I expected better from them. So next we'll go into 2 more MFK fragrances. The next MFK fragrance is known as Aqua Universalis. I have no expectations of this whatsoever, just besides I've heard good reviews about it. So let's try this out. Wow, that's very floral. Okay, so this is very floral and citrusy. Usually, I don't expect the opening to be that floral like this, but that's got some florals in it, like white florals, obviously. It's a fresh, clean scent, but again, it just smells basic. It's really basic. It's not something you're gonna hate, but to me, if you're gonna do florals, then I think that's where you just start to like make things worse than better, because florals are very hard to get right. I could be wrong though, it could have no florals in there and it could just be my nose kind of playing up from smelling so different scents. So let's have a look. All I can smell before I actually type this in, let's say floral, citrus, a little bit soapy, something a little soapy in here too. Even though I've said that about a lot of fragrances, it does smell soapy to me. Okay, so lemon, orange blossom, lily of the valley, and bergamot wood. It is basic. Looking at the note breakdown, this is a basic scent. So basically everything I described, I was right. White floral, yes. Citrus, yes. Maybe I left out the fact that it has wood in there. Probably because to me it doesn't smell like a woody fragrance. Nothing special, 7 out of 10. It's nice, but it's not worth really buying it, honestly. But it is sparkling. It almost has like a sparkling water kind of vibe. So there's something sparkly in here. Like when you smell it, it's like that tonic water. I think it's tonic water, sparkling water. It's got that tonic water, sparkling water smell. Not bad, not great though. The next is also by MFK. It's called Amyris Homme by MFK. It just says home on here, but it's actually Pour Homme, I think. So let's see what this one's about. This one gets hyped up by Monica Xerjoff on YouTube. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, couldn't pronounce it right, but Monica, you are a great YouTuber, but let's see if this is a great fragrance like you hype it up to be. Wow. Okay, she's onto something here, guys. I think Monica's really onto something right now. Wow. Yeah, I dig this one already from the opening. Yeah, it's also citrusy, floral. It's not basic, unlike the other ones, it's not so basic. Weird, I almost smell like iris or something in here. It's like an irisy floral scent. So it's definitely floral, but it's like a really nice kind of iris floral. Is it? Is it iris? Man, I'm gonna check this out. Yeah, it's definitely iris because it's giving me like Prada L'Homme kind of smell to it. Like a little bit soapy, like a Prada L'Homme kind of soapiness. Yeah, that's amazing. Honestly, I really like this. Amyris Homme by MFK. This stuff's good. And actually, it is just called Amyris Homme. Sorry, I was saying Pour Homme, but it just says Homme on the bottle. Wow. Okay, so this has more notes than actually I could smell in it. So this is probably something you want to train your nose to smell. It's citrus, but there is iris in there. So I was right about the iris. Apparently there's coconut, coffee, and tonka in here, which is really surprising. And rosemary. I think I can smell the rosemary because there is a little bit something herbal in here. That's the rosemary because it's got that herbal smell. And I'm assuming tonka is what's sweetening this because usually iris can sometimes smell sweet on its own, but it's got tonka in there, so it's definitely making the iris a little sweeter in here. But apparently it's got coconut and chocolate. Maybe it's the coconut that's making it creamy. Or maybe it's both. Maybe it's the tonka and coconut. This is also like a Allure Home Sport kind of scent where it's citrus, creamy, but it's actually a little bit better than Allure Home Sport because it's got the iris and rosemary in here. So if Allure Home Sport is too basic for you, this is great. This might even be like one of the best freshies I've smelled. Okay, niche or nah? Definitely niche. Go buy this, guys. MFK Amyris Homme. Wow, I just want to keep smelling this. This is that good. And I can imagine on skin it's going to be even better than paper. Wow, 10 out of 10? That's a 10 out of 10, man. Okay, so I've got 3 more scents to go through if my camera doesn't die before then. But next is called Enigma by Roja. Roja Parfums Enigma, which everyone knows this one. This is very hyped online, and I think to smell this, I'm going to have to spray it on skin because it's apparently sweet. Okay, so we got a good spray on skin. I can smell this in the air and it smells like a bottle of cola. It smells like cola. Wow, that's strong. A little bit of like Tom Ford tobacco vanille smell. Ooh, that's rough. That's not great. To me, that smells like a tobacco vanille if it was mixed with like cola. It's hard to explain. Like Spice Bomb Extreme mixed with tobacco vanille. It's got that stale vanilla smell that I absolutely hate, but then it's got that nutmeg cola smell, that kind of, maybe even Tom Ford Noir Extreme has that cola smell as well. So Tom Ford Noir Extreme mixed with tobacco vanille. It's rough, guys. I did not like this. It's very sweet, stale vanilla with some spicy, like nutmeg in there. Knowing, because it's so spicy, there's probably like, it's probably got cinnamon or tobacco or something else in here that's a little bit off, because it's not good. I'm just gonna basically say it's like the same notes as tobacco vanille. Tobacco, stale vanilla, nutmeg, who knows what else it is. It's very bitter. It's quite bitter though. So let's just check the notes here, if I can spell it right. Okay, it's got vanilla, tobacco, and there are some florals in here, but apparently it's cognac. Cognac. It's Angel Share by Killian, that's what it is. I knew it was something familiar. It's Angel Share by Killian. It's that cognac opening. It's got that same cognac opening as Angel Share, but it also does smell a lot like tobacco vanille as well. And I was wrong though, it doesn't have nutmeg in here, but it sure does smell like cola. To me, it smells a lot like cola, and I'm not sure why that would be, honestly, unless I'm looking at the wrong notes, because it says there's 2 different types of Enigma here. Let me just double check I got the right Enigma. Parfum Cologne. It's the right one. It's Parfum Cologne, so it's definitely the right one. Yeah, tobacco, vanilla, cognac with a very stale smell to it. A dusty stale smell, and cola. That's all I can say. I don't like it. Is it niche or nah? No. That's a nah for me, guys. Sorry. It's quite bad, actually. That's really bad. I think I've only got 2 more left in here to try. That's also another Roja scent, which is Oceania, and I'm hoping that this one's a lot more pleasant. So Oceania by Roja. I'm hoping this one is a little bit more mass appealing because it's supposed to be a freshie. Yeah, immediately that's great. Like, that's not bad, like when you first get a whiff of it. It's actually quite refreshing. It's very, very light. Bright, sorry. It's very bright citrus. So like cold, icy, lemonade, citrus. Almost like an ice cube, Jimmy Choo Man Ice Dior Homme Cologne. It's got a Dior Homme Cologne vibe to it. This is really good, man. This is like summer fragrance all day long. Great summer scent. And because I'm not smelling many notes in here besides there's the very bright citrus, I'm going to have to look up the notes just because it's very basic. It's a basic scent, but it smells really good. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 types of citrus in here. And then apparently it's got rosemary, thyme, iris, cedar, vetiver, juniper, sandalwood, vanilla, benzoin, ylang ylang, jasmine. It's got so many notes in here, and honestly, all you can smell is the citrus. But I'm gonna say maybe it's the white florals in here, like jasmine as well. That's giving it an even colder smell. Niche or nah, I like it, but not worth the price. It's too basic. It does smell bloody good though. This is amazing. And yes, I would wear it. It's an 8 or 9 out of 10 for me. I really like this. We got one last fragrance to go through that is niche. And then all the rest in here I haven't gone through. I'll save them for another video. But the rest aren't niche fragrances, so I'll cover them in the next video. Okay, the next one is Gentle Fluidity Silver by MFK. Gentle Fluidity Silver, or you could also say gender fluid if you want to be funny, like gender fluidity. Let's test this. Okay, what we got here? Few sprays on paper. This is supposed to be a fresh fragrance, so it should be fine to test on paper. Okay, I already dig this. I don't hate it. This is another one of those very fresh, almost sparkling like freshies. A little bit musky. There's a little bit of wood in here, like it's a little bit woody. There's something almost herbal or green. It's like cypress, or reminds me of cypress or rosemary or something. Some kind of green, like tree kind of smell, but very, very light. Maybe cypress. There's a little bit of bubblegum sweetness, like Invictus style sweetness in the opening. I'm not sure if there's vanilla in here, or if it's like heliotrope, or some kind of floral, something sweet, like a sweet floral like heliotrope. But there's definitely wood, musk, bubblegum sweetness in the opening. Something a little bit herbal. I can't figure out what that is, but I'll check the notes online. Juniper. Okay, so I can definitely smell juniper. It smells like cypress or rosemary. There is musk, wood notes, and that bubblegum sweetness must be vanilla or something, because it says it's vanilla, but surprisingly there's no citrus, and I can smell citrus in here, but apparently there's no citrus. Overall a nice scent. I would definitely wear it, and I don't know if I would buy it, but I would say very nice, and I'll give that about an 8 out of 10 because I actually quite like this one. It almost reminds me of Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir for him EDP. It's got that Blue Noir kind of smell without the harsh toilet spray vibe. So it's like if you took Blue Noir and actually made it a good scent with that wood and musk, it would probably be Gentle Fluidity Silver. And yeah, it's got that bubblegum sweetness, so just be careful. If you're not into that bubblegum sweetness opening, you may not really like this. Niche or nah? I'll say niche. It's quite nice. I don't know if it's worth the price, honestly, because it's better for cheaper. That concludes the video for now. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and just subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. Peace out, guys. Thank you.